Okay, we're taking you next to something very, very interesting. Over the last few years, a lot of us have become fans of Shark Tank, a show where you pitch an idea and get to watch the sharks either take it down or be floored by it and be full of appreciation. We're bringing you next a interview or a conversation of sorts. Shark Tank India is back with season 4. We've got an interview with two of those who are considered the most formidable sharks, Kunal and Ritesh. Take a look. This is a conversation.
Thank you, Ritesh and Kunal, for speaking to us, and welcome to the Breakfast Club. In this very interview, we'd want to know your understanding of your entrepreneurial business and, of course, your reason to be back on Shark Tank. So, moving with the first question for the two of you all. What is your reason to be back? What motivated you all to come back on Shark Tank season 4? And, what are your expectations when it comes to the entrepreneurs who would be here in this season?
Yeah, look, I think I was there in the last season, and I think Season 3 in my mind was a very important needle moving movement for Shark Tank, where essentially you saw the quality of companies, size of companies continue to expand, and the reaction and love the Season 3 got has been out of the charts. It's probably significantly ahead of any of the seasons we've seen. I think, I believe that in life, what data doesn't say, anecdotes do. So a lot of data points were saying that Shark Tank 3 did very well. But the anecdotes were, for the first time I heard such incredible stories of people from Samastipur, Darbhanga, of course in bigger cities like Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, creating exceptional companies purely because they found great ideas from Shark Tank. So I think India, which possibly will be one of the most prominent economies in the world, will only get there because of its entrepreneurial rise. And Shark Tank, I think, is probably the most is leading the pack in terms of helping entrepreneurs in India. So that's why I'm back, but yeah, up to Kunal.
He's back and I'm first. So, a lot of what I've done over the last 17, 18 years is to do with the startup ecosystem, right? Like when I started my company in 2007 along with my co-founder Rohit, there's nothing known as a startup, right? It was either you did a family business or you did a job. This twilight zone of a 20-year-old, 21-year-old or 18-year-old starting a company and raising money from someone else, not family money, was an unheard of concept, right? But look how far we've come. In the last 17, 18 years, we've just explosion, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of startups, lakhs of crores of value created for employees, shareholders, those who took risks like the founders themselves. It is incredible how much the startup ecosystem has moved the needle for India. And for me, I've been playing the role of a founder, an entrepreneur, operator, as well as of an investor, having invested in many companies over the last 13 years, many of whom which have become very big also. This to me was an extension of that, where whatever inputs, knowledge, experience, mistakes and capital that I could share in a closed room, now we can do it at scale on a national platform like Shark Tank.
What are you actually looking for in the entrepreneurs you all will be meeting in this very season?
Look, I think I've always said मैं घोड़े पे नहीं जॉकी पे पैसे लगाता हूँ. I think I've always found that entrepreneurs are the superpower behind a business. Entrepreneur, the teams, the people behind the company. So look, companies that come to Shark Tank can be very early or they can be reasonably advanced. But either ways, I'm looking at people who are exceptionally driven, who have a sense of purpose, who are not doing it just for a short-term return or money. And also people who are straightforward, who are easy to understand and easy to work with. I think that's what I'm searching.
So, you also spoke about how small towns, villages are seeing a lot of entrepreneurs coming in. Do you think startup system in India has actually evolved since the last season? What are the trends that you've seen, that you foresee for the coming season?
Yeah, I think there are 4 trends that viewers will see in the upcoming Shark Tank. The first one is, like you mentioned, I think you're seeing sort of entrepreneurs come from villages whose name has never been heard by people in the tank. I famously come from a place called Raigada, and I've been trying to make my town's name famous because I want people to know about that place. When I meet entrepreneurs who come to the tank with similar perspective, it's fascinating. So that's one thing I'm seeing. Second, I'm also seeing that a lot of companies which are small and medium business enterprises, which are backbone of our economy, they are now wanting to grow and become more professionalized, being organized like large corporations. I think that's an opportunity I continue to find quite fascinating. I think the third what I find is during COVID, a lot of people among the families, like the wife and the husband, daughter-in-law and the mother-in-law, they've gotten together, and what started as a passion project are all becoming serious businesses. And those are serious businesses in the sense like millions of dollars worth of businesses. So short perspective is, there is no colony in India where a startup is not being created. I was speaking just day before yesterday to one of the founders from First Bird Organics, which is from देवगढ़ in Jharkhand. वहाँ पे एक बहुत बड़ा भोलेनाथ जी का मंदिर है. Now she says that I am like a celebrity in town, right? She's probably 60. In her life, she had only traveled twice to Mumbai. Not Mumbai, anywhere outside of Devgarh in her life, she had only traveled twice. First for Shark Tank audition, second for Shark Tank pitch.
Okay.
Now she's a celebrity in town. Every woman in her town now wants to emulate her and come to Shark Tank. So they all come and ask her tips. कैसे जाना है Shark Tank? How do you apply? What kind of business to set up? So I think if in a small way, Shark Tank is playing a role in that, a startup in every colony, and I feel like it's a beautiful thing that India will possibly have lakhs of startups like this.
Yeah, I feel the biggest takeaway for anyone watching the show is that they can also do it. Right now, you don't need to have some special knowledge. You don't need to feel that someone else knows some secret. Because of that, they are successful. It's all in the open now. The methodology of going from a spark of an idea in your head to a successful company, the entire arc of that journey is now showcased on Shark Tank India again and again and again. And that is what inspiration looks like, when you suddenly feel that I can also do it.
Sure. Thank you so much for speaking to us. We look forward to helping you help the budding entrepreneurs.